Welcome. You have reached review time with Imperial. Today's review will be Fatal Affair starring Nia Long and Omar Epps. And these two haven't been in a movie together since the movie Into Deep um, many years ago. They had good chemistry on that movie. And they finally returned back to the screen together. And so Nia Long plays as Ellie, and Omar Epps plays as David. And so this is your typical obsession movie. And it actually, there was a movie called Obsessed with Idris Elba and Beyonce Knowles Carter, and where he was working at a firm and pretty much one of the employees that worked there as an intern or temporarily came there and had the hots for him. And one day after a party, he had a little bit to drink, and then she pretty much came on to him. I think he just kissed her, but he never really actually went all the way through, and then she just became obsessed and then following him. It became a big fiasco. So this is basically the same type of plot, but in the reverse. And so Ellie is just purchased a home with her husband. They got a daughter off in college, and the husband had a serious accident about a year or so ago, and in the accident he had a road to recover. He was in a body cast for like 6 months, and then he just been recovering. So it kind of put a strong strain on their marriage because of course he didn't feel like he lost his way of being intimate with her, and she felt like she was in a marriage alone. So that could be strain on anybody. And so meanwhile, they purchased this home like out in like the um, with the ocean view and everything away from the city. And she wants to get her own law practice. She's about to leave the firm, but her last case on leaving the firm, uh, in comes David, who she went to college with, and the firm picked him like the consult for a case, and he pretty much found information for the case, and he instantly jumps right in, showing his interest to Ellie. And because she's going through her little thing with her marriage, she's kind of vulnerable at this time. So eventually he looks to take her up. He said he wants to take her out for drinks, and she was standoffish at first, but she finally gave in because she felt she would link up with her girlfriend, and it would be the three of them. And so um, her girlfriend is couldn't make it because whatever, she was stuck on a case. And so it ended up being him and her at the dinner. They went over college times, and then they was drinking a little bit, and then she went into they took it further because the husband texted her pretty much saying he's gonna be working late. So that was just more of a motivation for her. Now let's go out to dance. And they went out somewhere to dance, and then he took her on the dance floor. Him meaning David, Omar Epps' character. And then one thing led to another. They got close, and then they kissed. And then they almost went into the bathroom and did the do, but she stopped them because she said, pretty much, this is not right. And so after that point, she apologized, said it should have never happened, and she thought it was the end. So she pretty much went about her business from there. But that wasn't him. You instantly got to see his how possessive he became over her, and she ghosted him. She ghosted him, and then he took offense. And so then of course the typical all the stalker stuff. And then he, on top of being a stalker, they took a page out of The Perfect Guy with Sanaa Nathan and Ely. They pretty much he's a tech hacker, so he hacks into all her information to get the one up on everything. And so he was able to find some information. And also, that I forgot, in the beginning of the movie, it shows a woman and a man, and then the woman is at the man's house, and then pretty much you see him get killed, and then she gets killed as well. And so you instantly know that's him. So come to find out, that was his ex-wife. When she left him, he tracked her down with her new boyfriend and killed her and the new boyfriend. So David then befriends her, Ellie's friend that didn't go out to dinner with them, and he got into her. So now when she comes around Ellie, he's there, and so she gets invited to Ellie's new house, and he shows up there, and then she's looking like, I ghosted him, and here he is showing up. And so that becomes a thing. And then one thing leads to another, and she tells him pretty much back off, and he's still persistent, like, nah, we gonna do this, you know what I'm saying? You deserve to have a man like me, or whatever. And so he takes it further and befriends her husband, because she didn't tell her husband what's going on, and befriends her husband, goes out to golf with him, finds out the husband talks about a time when how his accident happened. So you instantly start to believe that he has something to do with the husband's accident. It doesn't really confirm that, I don't think, but you instantly start to say, hey, he's responsible for the husband's accident or whatever, because the husband said he normally takes this bike ride or whatever he goes all the time, and then out of nowhere he said he never seen the truck coming, and the truck hit him. And so Ellie does her own research, and she tried to warn her friend, and then she was able to slip into his apartment and get the key from the person at the front desk, because she told the person at the front desk she forgot something, and the person at the front desk thought she was the other girl that was there. And she got the chance to look at his laptop, see all the pictures he'd been taking of her, and she downloaded the pictures he was taking of her. And well, no, she didn't download it was on his laptop, and it had a picture of where her husband, the bridge that her husband normally takes. So that further few that he was the one responsible for that. And so from there, when she called her girlfriend and told her, hey, I was just at his apartment, you know, you really need to watch out, he's not who he say he is. When he came to visit the girlfriend, he put his phone down, and the girlfriend looked at the phone and instantly seen the pictures of him with her, and he's pretty much like telling her, like, well, what are you doing looking at my phone? She's like, what are you doing with pictures of Ellie in your phone like that if you didn't know her, and stuff like that. So that kind of confirmed what Ellie was saying. So he beat that girl up, but he didn't kill her. And so when Ellie showed up to her apartment, she was beat up, but she lived. And then everything from there, the chain of events took place, and he was exposed, but he did a fake suicide. Now, one thing that I did see in this movie that was kind of like, it was very predictable, but it just showed this day and time, no matter how comfortable anyone could be in their life, you have to get security. And so somebody can say, well, security can be hacked. You should have camera systems in your home, and try to get camera systems that not by a company, camera systems that you could build on your own. You need to have protection in your home. This day and time, no matter how safe you are in your home, just this day and time, you just don't know. People are crazy. Get protection in your home. And then you got the old school protection. You got some type of decent dog that can alert, because it was a point where he used his tech security to unlock her security that she had. They had, like, you know, those type doors, that the new doors where you put the code in and it unlocks the door. Well, he had a little tech device that he just scanned on the door, and the door unlocked. So he was inside the house, roaming the house, took her lingerie and stuff while everybody was asleep. And if you had a dog or something like that, a good dog anyway, will send somebody coming in and send, barking and let everybody know like, yo, something is up. So, and then you can protect yourself and your family. You know what I'm saying? So this day and time, like, that needs to be like on everybody's like to-do list. Just to protect yourself, because we're in some strange times in the world. Now back to the movie. Of course, he faked his death. He comes back. He sets her up to leave the house. Leaves the wife, the daughter, and the husband there. He beats the husband up and ties the husband up along with the daughter. And then she comes back. They get in a little scuffle. She calls the detective. The detective sends police, but he killed the police that showed up. And then it gets to the final scene where he throws the husband off of a cliff. Not off a cliff, off a little bridge. And then she helps the husband up after she stabs him in the stomach. He goes, picks up a gun. And then the husband comes and knocks him out the way, drops the gun. And so they get in a little scuffle and they end up to a cliff. And he somehow gets launched where he's about to fall. He, meaning David, is going to fall off the cliff. And then Ellie, which is Nia Long, went and goes to grab him to help him from not falling off the cliff. Now that part was like, that was crazy, but nevertheless, she tried to hold him, and then he fell off the cliff, and you assume at that point he's definitely dead from there. How he going to live from that? But that's how the movie went, and it showed. Fast forward 2 months later, and it just basically shows that they're gonna move from that location and move back to the city. The daughter went back to college or whatever. So overall, it was a decent film, decent watch. Very predictable, something to watch, but it was nothing special about this particular movie, because you've seen them all, and they didn't make it no twist or anything like that. So overall, an okay watch. So I'm gonna give this movie, out of my 4-star rating system, I'm gonna give this 2 out of 4 stars. Subscribe to the channel and like the video. Comment if you watched it. Till next time.